And how much is that is because of the whole COVID situation and them not really being able to, you know, work out players that they're interested in or that they're on the fence on. So, no, it's definitely really wild times. There's might not even be an NFL season. There,
Yeah.
there might not be one. I mean, when's the preseason normally? When do off-season workouts usually start? Like in like July? OTAs?
OTA, I don't think they'll worry about those. They'll probably just give players, playbook early.
So then will everyone
Um,
just show up rusty to the season if it does happen? And who
well,
are people gonna get hurt?
well, but that's the issue right now with the NFL though, is that players already get hurt because if we look, if we look back in the day when what was the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even like the 90s, I would even argue in the 2000s, you didn't really have that many preseason injuries because those dudes were always hitting. Like before the season even started, their body was acclimated to the punishment and everything that they were doing. Now they, excuse me, now they limit literally every bit of contact throughout everything until training camp, and even during training camp, like the contact is limited on certain days and things like that. So I think that will always exist in our current NFL. But I think the biggest thing that we'll have to kind of overcome as the season starts would be, as you said, Sal, the rust. Just because you won't have players actually getting together early on to develop that chemistry, you're going to have, let's say things are back to normal in June, you know, that's the earliest players can actually get back together and even do some form of OTAs before training camp. You still have to knock off that rust because there's players haven't played or trained with other individuals, in a few months. So I do think the rust is going to be the issue. But I don't think the season is going to be affected. I think we're going to get to a point where, and like I said, we're going to have to rip the band-aid off at some point. And the NFL, they're trying to make money. They're not going to slow up. They're like, all right, we'll play like we'll just play games on TV with no fans if that's what it has to be. I can even see the NFL not even necessarily doing any restrictions if things are quote unquote back to normal, which, I don't know how you can just kind of say things are back to normal at any given point, whether it be in 2 months, whether it be tomorrow, whether it be a year from now. I just, realistically thinking like the public as a whole, how people think, I just don't know when people are just going to actually feel safe to go back out. So at some point, we just got to kind of get back to normal, to some type of normalcy. But I don't think the season's going to really be affected by this. NFL, they're not stop. They're not going to lose out on money.
If there's any league that's gonna get a game on television through trying to get through this like pandemic situation, is gonna be the NFL.
This is the
Well,
NFL.
first of all, they got months to prepare. I mean, they know what's going down now, and they can kind of project forward. And they got smart people, and they got a ton of money, so they're gonna figure it out to make sure they can maximize their opportunities to get money. A lot of, but I mean, there's a lot that impacts that the league is gonna have. Like, there's a lot of like small things that I like when I'm thinking about like start playing a game with no fans. Like that, that's one thing. But then, how's that gonna affect the revenues for the teams and signing players and things like that? There's a lot of like trickle down that has to that impacts um
Right.
for like signing players, salary cap, things of that nature. Um, TV deals and things like that. I think they're one of their TV deals is I think Monday Night Football or something is up now, or they're about to redo the contract or something. So that can impact things too, especially if there's no other sports on TV. And you all you got is Monday Night Football or football um, coming up in the fall. So I mean, because it doesn't look like there's going to be any soccer anytime soon. I don't think. So like, it's just going to be football, and who knows what basketball's going to do. We're probably talking about that for a little bit at some point, but I mean, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to finish the season. I don't think they. It doesn't make any sense. to finish the season, in my opinion, mainly because of the just getting like logistically. I don't know how it will work out. Um,
Right.
Travel, those things like that. I mean, the stadiums, just getting like the proper, just to get the games to work. I don't know how that's going to work because you're going to have to extend the season into the summer a lot, and there's other events and venues and things like that. But yeah, I don't think the NBA season is going to be able to finish. Um, but I'm pretty sure that the NFL is going to. They're playing football in the fall for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know anything about it, but they're going to be playing. Um, I don't know about. I'm not sure about basketball. I don't know what they're going to do about baseball, because you can't play. You can't play in December in baseball. So football is the only sport where you can play in any weather, more or less, and you own the stadiums. So like you don't have to. You're not sharing the stadiums with other teams or
Mm-hmm.
events and things like that. So logistically, it makes sense for football to work. I'm not sure about the other sports
Right. And I mean, not just for the sake of sports, but for everyone whose jobs are basically taken away because of a lack of sports, people working in stadiums. Yeah, let's just hope that by the time fall comes, maybe there'll be some good news regarding COVID, so that people can go back into the stadiums. But it does seem like things such as going to sporting events or going to concerts or even something like going to go vote. I think these are things that we're gonna have to do differently if we want to still do it in the upcoming months.